Hello doctors. Endocrine pancreas is quite an interesting topic in two senses. The actions of the hormones insulin and glucagon are kind of familiar with practically everyone. With the enormous surge of diabetes, the familiarity of insulin, glucagon, pancreas, how does it influences carbohydrate metabolism, these kinds of topics were being spoken at multiple forums right from school days onwards. So it's kind of a familiar topic, but there is just one catchy point. We have been primed and we have been tuned to think that insulin as well as glucagon are hormones which are essentially involved in glucose homeostasis, right? That's not completely true. Of course, they have a huge impact on carbohydrate metabolism, glucose homeostasis, no doubt about it. But is that all? No. Along with influencing glucose homeostasis, the hormones of pancreas, insulin and glucagon, do have a huge impact on fat metabolism and protein metabolism. So, these two hormones are essentially involved in energy balance rather than putting it exclusively for carbohydrate metabolism. Alright, so that one point you have to keep that in your mind before even you start to understand insulin and glucagon, people. Alright, so guys, remember, this is not a hormone only for carbohydrate metabolism. This is the hormone for carbohydrate, lipid as well as protein metabolism altogether. It's the hormone that influences energy balance. Alright, so have that idea at the outset. Now let's get to see the endocrine aspect of pancreas. Guys, pancreas is an organ which has got exocrine part and endocrine part. The exocrine part of pancreas are essentially involved in secreting enzymes that takes care of digestion, breakdown of proteins, carbohydrates, fats, right? Whereas the endocrine part, which is uniquely called as islets of Langerhans, right? The endocrine pancreas are called as islets of Langerhans. This region, islets of Langerhans, are seen spread all over the pancreatic organ. It's not a particular region which consists of islets, only head, only body, only the ankas, only the tail. No. You can see islets all throughout the pancreatic organ, doctors. Alright. So it's been merged. It's a part of that endocrine, it's the part of pancreas. Now people, when it comes to the cell, what are all the cells that are part of islets of Langerhans? Essentially, we are going to study 3 cells, and there are a few other cells. Now, if you consider the hormones that are coming out of these cells, we have many hormones, people. There are insulin, glucagon, somatostatin, pancreatic polypeptide, to some extent gastrin is also coming up, but the hormones which do have a huge impact in normal day-to-day physiological homeostasis, if you consider, it comes down to just 2 hormones, insulin and glucagon. So, in endocrine aspect of pancreas discussion, you have to be clear and thorough with just 2 hormones. One is insulin, the second one is glucagon. Alright people? And this lecture is going to cover those 2 hormones essentially. So people, let's start with the cells at the outset. If you consider the cells of islets of Langerhans, there are alpha cells, beta cells, delta cells. Alpha cells produces glucagon, beta cell produces insulin, delta cell produces somatostatin. Along with alpha, beta and delta, there are also PNP cells that produces another product called pancreatic polypeptide. So guys, these are all the certain cells that lies in islets of Langerhans. Now let me take you to the basics of what is an endocrine and what is an exocrine. Endocrine structures are one that secretes its content into a vasculature, into a blood vessel. That is fundamentally an essential nature of endocrine structure. What is an exocrine structure? It secretes its content into a duct, not into vasculature. So remember that basics. Islets of Langerhans being an endocrine structure, we naturally will expect the cells to get its content into a vessel, a blood vessel rather than a duct. Alright. Now guys, if you consider the blood vessel that is supposed to carry the hormones that are coming out of islets of Langerhans, it is the very same blood vessel which also involved in perfusing blood to islets of Langerhans. So people, remember this way. I'm going to give you a blood vessel. Now this vasculature is a branch of portal vein, alright. So this is a tributary of a portal vein. Fine. Now if you consider this blood vessel, that's portal vein, there are going to be cells which are going to surround this vessel, doctors. There are going to be cells that surrounds the vessel very close to portal vein, very close to portal vein. There are going to be beta cells of pancreas. Right, just close to portal vein there is going to be beta cells, and slightly far away there is going to be alpha cells. In a very same manner, if you consider, we are going to take up the same structure, people. A blood vessel, beta cell and alpha cell. Now instead of this as a portal vein, instead of the vasculature to be called as portal vein, I am going to take up a frank artery, alright. So small arterioles. And these arterioles are the one that's going to perfuse blood to the pancreas. These arterioles are the one that perfuses blood. Arterioles, smaller capillaries, alright. So they are the vessels that perfuses blood to the pancreatic structures. Now if you look at the way blood comes out of this vessel, ideally speaking, doctors, the blood that comes out of arterioles and capillary, first it perfuses beta cell and it washes away the content and then it gets to alpha cell. So it's not a vasculature for beta cell and a vasculature for alpha cell, not like that. Blood that comes out of that vessel first washes away beta cell content and then it reaches alpha cell. So essentially the content of beta cell has got a tremendous influence on alpha cell.